This was her idea to come out and take a hike. Or was it her telling me to take a hike? I don't remember, but she's here. It's a nice park. If your goal is to come out here and relax, this is the park for you. If you are a hiker, this is the park for you. If you like to go down trails on the back of a horse, this is the park for you. This is a very nice campsite. Spacious, plenty of trees, plenty of shade. This is a nice little camping loop. It's kind of quaint. You know, it's quiet. Here is the boat ramp. This is what 3 feet low looks like. We're in a drought, and we have been for a long time. One of the joys of having a YouTube channel are the people that you meet. So I'd like you to meet them now. You notice I'm wearing a hat. So you may have already guessed who one of them is.
I'm Todd, and I came to meet Cooper.
I've done a lot of chicken, poultry. I did a turkey breast back at Garner, but we're gonna get back to doing what I do best, beef. Are you napping?
I was.
Just for the record, Switchback Road is the bumpiest son of a bitch. Welcome to Lake Somerville State Park, Nails Creek Unit. It gets its name from the amount of nails found on the lake bottom. That's not true at all, I'm kidding. Our objective this weekend was to sit back, relax, hang out, and I think we nailed it. We're back at it. And of course, we got the weather in our favor this time. No jacket required. It's springtime. That means sunshine, warm temperatures, cool breezes to start the day, and a pollen count that's so high, when I wake up in the mornings, my throat feels as if I just swallowed a cactus. We're heading over to Lake Somerville State Park again. Nails Creek Unit this time. We were at the Birch Creek Unit when we were last there, and I love that place. We're heading in the direction of the very central part of Texas, and of course, IH-35 is how it starts. Lovely. IH-35. We just can't seem to avoid it, no matter where we've gone lately. I think Garner was the last time we took a different highway to get to where we were going. 35, boy. It's clearing up a little bit now, but back there, it was a son of a... It's a Thursday morning. We decided to do a 4-nighter this time around just because. Once we passed through the Lost Pines, this part of Texas is that interesting area where the Blackland prairies sort of morph into the post oak savanna and then up and around again. But really, this region leads to the basic gateway into East Texas. Lake Somerville lies halfway between Austin and Houston, and other than some scattered small towns like Giddings, Somerville, Brenham, Burton, this is a pretty remote area. One of the things I like the most about it. These are the kind of things I like to talk about when we're driving to our destination, because these topics are always of great interest to Mrs. Switchback. So yes, we're at it once again, pulling our little efficiency apartment on wheels, our 21st trip, and our 18th state park. We've been to a couple more than once. This is what we do. This is what we look forward to. When we're done with this trip, we'll be thinking about the next one. We were looking forward to this one in particular. We wanted to relax, hang out, cook some good food, and sneeze about 450 times. Welcome back to Lake Somerville. As I mentioned before, both the Birch Creek and Nails Creek unit comprise Lake Somerville State Park and Trailway. And when I say Trailway, we're talking a combined total of nearly 40 miles of them throughout the two units, all within 8,700 acres of state park bliss. We're staying at the Nails Creek unit this time around. This area sits on the western edge of the lake, which happens to not only be the shallow end of the lake, but the highest point as well. And in recent times of decreased rainfall, this was very, very evident. We would soon see the effects of this. Lake Somerville is an 11,400-acre flood control reservoir on Yegwa Creek, which lies within the Brazos River Basin. Construction began in 1962 and impounded in 1967 by the Army Corps of Engineers. This oasis out in the middle of the state has served its purpose well, as of course a flood control measure, municipal water supply, and, you guessed it, recreation. The state park itself was established in 1969 and opened in 1970, and people all across the state have been enjoying it ever since. Personally, I believe the location, remote as it is, serves as a perfect waypoint while getting out to other parts of the state like we did in October of 2024. We used Lake Somerville as a stopover for a few days on our way to Martin Dyes Jr. State Park. But make no mistake about it, this area, this park, it could just as easily serve as a fantastic destination park as well. Wildlife is abundant with the frequent sightings of bald eagles that come here to winter. But mostly, you'll come across the usual Central and South Texas critters in the form of coyotes, white-tailed deer, foxes, bobcats, armadillos, and so on. Maybe even the occasional river otter as well. All this is surrounded, of course, by live oaks, post oaks, water oaks, hickories, and a mishmash of other trees. And of course, we have the insects. Most notably, the June bugs, looking like bowling balls with wings that seem to be romantically involved with the LED lights on the trailer. They pelt the walls so hard, I had to look outside a few times to make sure it wasn't hailing. On the opposite end of the spectrum are the tiny microscopic no-see-ums, which are equally in love with the LEDs. I think the last time we were in this area, I inhaled a couple dozen of them. That was not on my mind right now, though. It's been way too long. 5 months and 9 days to be exact. We had to set up and get out of here. We had business to tend to, and it's about damn time. It's been way too long. The last time we went to Dairy Queen was when we went to Garner, and that was just stopping on our way back home for an ice cream. So, we're heading over to nearby Giddings, Texas, to go to Dairy Queen and dine in, because that's how we roll. So, it's DQ time. It's redemption time. Having a YouTube channel does have its benefits. I'd like to thank Michael, a friend of ours. DQ gift card. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Tex Coast 44. This is for you. We even got the long table. I'm calling this our redemption trip. We've redeemed ourselves with DQ. That's redemption number 1. Redemption number 2 is going to be what I do on the Weber tomorrow. Giddings, Texas, DQ, A+. I thought about bringing the camper over here and just turning the parking lot into our campsite, but they said no. We are full, we are happy. The evening is complete. What a beautiful morning. We are in campsite 44. Morning, Nomer Pile. This is a nice campsite. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department website has pictures that feature the campsites. Some of these pictures are like 8 years old. This has a lake view. However, if you notice, I don't know if you can see or not, but the lake is getting further and further away. I'll talk about that later. I had no problems leveling here from side to side. Front to back, I had to drop it down just a little bit, but no big deal. I got a new cover for our power jack. The old one I had was starting to look like it had hair. We have water and electric only, no full hookups here. 20, 30, and 50 amp power. We are picking up about 10 over-the-air channels. And here's Hooter, keeping an eye on things. At night, his eyes light up. Yes, this is a very spacious campsite. Very nice, great view. We do have a fire pit here with an attached grill. And we also have the Weber. So you know what I'm gonna be doing. I've done a lot of chicken, poultry. I did a turkey breast back at Garner, but we're gonna get back to doing what I do best, beef. We got a wooden picnic table on a concrete slab. And here we have DQ Dillo. I mentioned before that this was a gift given to me by fellow YouTuber and friend of mine, Todd Saw. He doesn't live far from here. He lives in Brenham. So he's going to be stopping by tomorrow to say hi with another friend of his who's also a friend of mine. So stick around for that. This is the newest member of the Switchback family. I don't have a name for him yet. So if you can think of a funny Switchback style name for Mr. Frog over there, drop it in the comments. If I like the name that you chose, I will mention you in the next video. And if you're a YouTuber, who knows? A Switchback shout out may very well get you 450 million subscribers. One other thing that I will mention about this campsite. A word of advice. If you wake up in the morning and step out of your RV, make sure that you are fully awake and aware of your surroundings, because I've seen drop-offs before, but this one is gnarly. Yeah, it's not a gentle slope either. It's pretty steep. So yeah, this is a massive drop-off right outside of your front door, right at the bottom of the steps. So just keep that in mind if you're in Site 44, and some of the other sites too. I've noticed a couple of the other sites have some drop-offs, but this one is pretty tremendous. Right behind our campsite, we do have a trail that goes to the lake, and it leads to this trail here that goes around the lake. But as you can see, the lake is far, far away. We've stayed at Lake Somerville State Park before. We were at the Birch Creek unit last time. Of course, we're at Nails Creek right now. Right over there, across the lake, is where the Birch Creek unit is. Not far. Just a spit and a holler away. At one point, there was a bridge that actually connected the two units, but alas, it flooded out and washed the bridge out. Now, to get from Nails Creek to Birch Creek is about a 30-minute drive around the lake. And just for your information, this is what 3 feet low looks like. Lake Somerville is not a deep water lake, so the 3 feet is really significant here. The lakes that I'm familiar with mostly are the ones that are around San Antonio, or at least in South Texas. You know, we have Canyon Lake, which is about 30 or 40 miles northeast of San Antonio. I think they're 20 or 30 feet below normal. That is a deep water lake. Lake Medina, which is on the opposite end, about 30 or 40 miles northwest of San Antonio, is so low that they couldn't think of another name to classify it as other than non-existent. It was once Medina Lake. Now it's nothing. Not to make light of it. It's really sad. Choke Canyon Lake, which is about 75 miles south of San Antonio, I think is at 8 or 9% capacity. Lake Corpus Christi, which we're going to be going to in July, is getting to that point also. I'm not sure exactly, but we're going to see when we go there. Yes, this is a critical situation in the whole state. We're in a drought, and we have been for a long time. It's a nice little camping loop. The trailways are pretty extensive throughout this park. And Birch Creek. There's a series of trails that actually connect the two units. Because despite the fact that it takes about 30 minutes to drive there, you can actually hike there. I won't be doing that. Rounding the corner here of this camping loop is the bathhouse, or I should say, bathhouses. It's got 4 separate stalls with a shower, toilet, sink, unisex. And we used them this morning. Not bad. Water pressure is okay. The temperature was good. I just wish they would make the benches a little bit further away from the sprayer. Site 56, I believe this is the one that Chris the Camping Texan stayed in. 54 is very nice. 51 is really nice. I really like that. So yeah, this is a fantastic little camping loop. They have other campsites here that are equestrian. We'll take a look at those later. As I mentioned before, there are some campsites that have these tremendous drop-offs. I said this before and I'll say it again. I would hate for someone to trip and fall on their asphalt. I mentioned the lake level. Where we are now, the western edge of the lake is the highest point of Lake Somerville, meaning the Birch Creek unit, which is about a third of the way up, looks normal. But here at Nails Creek, the fishing, water sports, recreation, they're not going to be as prominent. It's not always like this. If you enjoy watching birds, there are plenty. We saw quite a few white pelicans flocking all around the lake. They're heading north to Canada, the Great Plains. It's that time of year, and they'll be returning to the Gulf Coast late summer into fall. Lake Somerville is one of the stopovers. They could be here for a few days or a few weeks, and they fly high and efficiently. Birds and horses. That's pretty much what we came across this weekend as far as the animal kingdom is concerned. Once again, we came here to sit back and relax, kind of like the pelicans. Unfortunately for the pelicans, they fly so high, they don't always see what's on the ground. They had no idea what was down there waiting for them. Seen here dreaming about playing horseshoes with the horses still attached, Cooper, the leopard, has a great deal to be excited about. Not only are the horses up and running on the trails, but they come with riders too, an added bonus. And the pelicans, the more the merrier. They'll just be a tad short on the return trip up north. And by a tad, I mean at least 75%. We had the intention of a calm and relaxing trip. Cooper isn't built that way. He stalks every square inch and patch of grass, launching sudden missions towards mammals, reptiles, birds, and even those stupid big June bugs. And the wildlife is none the wiser. Cooper is about as predictable as the Texas weather. The last time we were at Lake Somerville was about a year and a half ago. Apparently, all life forms here thought that was sufficient time to be able to start poking heads out again. Wrong. In fact, it was partly cloudy here. When Cooper arrived, the clouds parted completely. When Cooper gets the zoomies, it's classified as a major weather event. Cooper doesn't get startled. Nature briefly glitches and then resets itself. When Cooper enters a park, the patrons immediately file missing persons reports on themselves. Every apex predator in the world knows that they're at the top of Cooper's apex prey list. The low lake levels all over the state really are easy to explain. Cooper gets thirsty sometimes. When Google doesn't have the answer to a question, Google has to Cooper it. When Cooper purrs, seismologists all over the world are baffled. Cooper is like catnip to catnip. And of course, it has to be said, farewell, Chuck Norris. You were larger than life. You were a big part of my childhood, a true icon, a titan. Your legacy will live on forever. You were also Cooper's favorite student. Mrs. Switchback just surprised me a little bit. She says she wants to walk down here.
I did. Let's see what happened.
Did something bite you?
Then something was in my shoe.
I think every animal, every insect, every reptile in the world has bitten Mrs. Switchback, so she says. There we go. That's the trail right there.
We did it.
We did it. Yep. 1/1000th of a mile. This is the picnic area, the day use area. And as you can see, there was once water all right there. This is how low the lake levels are. Again, they told me it was 3 feet low. But as far back as you can see, right here, it's just brush. Yeah, this was all water at one point. This looks like it may be a dining hall that is available for rent. Very nice. Little picnic area here. This is air conditioned. And this view at one point was a lake. Here is the boat ramp. As you can see, it's closed. Goodness, I just want to get a water hose and just throw it in there. You know, you hear about these things on the news, you see videos about it, but it isn't until you're here that it really, really hits. But yeah, that's low. This here is the Rocky Point picnic area. There's no one here. Of course, today's Friday. You know, I don't know what the weekend's gonna hold, but we should probably know a little bit more about how the weekend's gonna be here in a couple of hours. It's about noon. But the water looks a little bit better. Way back over there, as you can see, is where we are camped. Right over there. Yeah, I don't know what's gotten into her.
Here.
I don't know what's gotten into her, but she's like wanting to come and hike. So this is pretty cool. You don't have to deal with just me.
I don't know, making that sound.
A bear.
No, it's like an insect of some sort.
An insect?
Like a bee or...
It's probably a grasshopper.
Well, whatever it is,
It's big.
it's freaking me out.
I don't know why you brought your purse either. I don't think we're gonna come across any farmers markets out here.
Let's see, but if we do,
Yep.
I'm prepared.
This is what I will presume is the rocky part of the Rocky Point picnic area. But hey, we're finally near the water. Okay, so you've heard me mention that this is our redemption trip. Redemption number 1 was already fulfilled. We went to Dairy Queen. I had a good, happy cry about it, and we were very satisfied. Now it's time for redemption number 2. We've been eating a lot of poultry on these last few trips, and so much so that it's put me in a foul mood. Hey, did you hear that? I said we've had so much poultry
I did.
That-
I heard it.
that it put me in a foul mood.
Right.
So it's time for me to get back to doing what I do best. We haven't done this since Lockhart. It's steak time. Got a good fat 2-pound ribeye here. Got a nice sirloin for Mrs. Switchback. We're going to do the standard salt overnight to dry brine. Tomorrow it's going to be pepper, garlic powder, and maybe, just maybe, a light dusting of chupacabra. Let's do this. And once again, no utensils. Maybe for the mashed potatoes, but maybe not. This is amazing. So, one of the joys of having a YouTube channel are the people that you meet. So, I was fortunate enough to be in an area in a state park that is very close to two friends of mine, two fellow YouTubers. So, I'd like you to meet them now. You notice I'm wearing a hat, so you may have already guessed who one of them is. Hey, what's going on, Todd?
Hi. Well, I worked up the courage. I think I want to meet Cooper, if that's possible. Do you think?
Yeah, sure.
I brought an offering.
Brought a piece. Oh, very good.
I have my life jacket on.
I thought Sock Monkey was coming.
He's here. He's maintaining
okay.
safe distance.
Hey, Sock, what's up?
He says he can outrun me. What do you think he means by that?
You know, I think he's got a good head start.
Has Cooper had lunch yet?
No, he hasn't.
Oh, maybe I should wait.
Yeah, maybe we'll wait just a little bit.
Here, feed him that.
All right.
Then I'll meet him.
All right, that'll be a good snack for him. All right, first up, we have Sock Monkey.
I got a hat too.
And he's got a hat too. Go check out his channel, K and Mac Project
69.
Just in case, I mean, y'all do have your wheels in order and everything, right? We're all good there.
And I'm gonna stay behind him.
You're gonna stay behind him?
Yes.
All right, that sounds good.
Why are you gonna be behind me?
I just need to run faster than you did. You've got the meat.
So if anything happens, Cooper will have to go through you first to get to him. That's why he's going to be behind you. That's very smart, actually. That's good thinking.
That's plan A.
Yeah, yeah. It is Saturday afternoon. I'm here with Sock Monkey. I'm here with Todd Saw. We're going to go find a geocache or two. We're going to hit a trail back here.
If I only knew the lyrics.
Trails to
Let's do this. Are we on the right?
I do. What are we doing? This doesn't seem like a trail.
Mrs. Switchback would not be doing this.
Wow. I thought we were going to take a trail.
Well,
I kind of thought so too.
More like we were bushwhacking.
If it would have been a snake, it would have bit us.
so this is a very old one. It's been here. I got this 3 or 4 years ago. I got this particular one, and the can is really rusted. But the reason it's still here is because they chain these down, so because it floods up in this area,
Yeah.
and it keeps it from floating
I
off.
wonder what that chain is anchored to.
Yeah. So the log sheet, this needs attention.
This log sheet has gotten damp before
Yeah.
a few times. That's called swag. Stuff we all get, just trinkets and beads and whatnot.
So this geocache is a little worn out.
It is.
That's what we call that, a well-seasoned geocache.
So I like to put stuff in here for the kids.
Well seasoned, just like us.
This one is a newer one, so it's in much better shape. Nice.
Minion.
A minion for Todd, and a Sock Monkey path head. Okay, and so we got everything back in. The log is signed for all three of us. Switchback did that, and we're ready to lock it up.
Landed.
That's it.
Yeah. So there we go.
So we have found 2 geocaches. I found the second one, so that makes me cool. That was kind of neat. I think I'll check that out at some of these other parks we go to. That's pretty cool. Of course, it was off the beaten path, but that's okay. We survived.
You know, there used to be some creature down there at that, what is the one with the
Palmetto?
palmetto?
Yeah.
But it hasn't been seen again since Cooper's
Since
visit.
Cooper went there. Yes. Go ahead. Look at there.
You're killing me, dude. You're killing me. Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, Cooper, your reputation.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Todd Saw and Sock Monkey got to meet Cooper.
Cars-in-law.
I'm happy to say they're both alive and well, limbs intact. I'd like to thank a couple of people, actually 4 individuals, that have agreed to let me video them, because this is the first for Switchback Texan actually seeing horses at a state park. How we doing today?
Hi, great. Just enjoying the nice, cool weather that came in last night. Jessica Tincher, and this is my husband, David Tincher.
Jessica and David, thank y'all very much. And who do we have here?
We have our rope horses. These are actually team roping horses. David uses them for heading cattle.
Very cool.
This guy's won them already a buckle this year, and we're just basically taking them out here to stretch their legs.
Oh, very nice.
A little bit of relaxation for them before they compete.
I'm born and raised in Texas, San Antonio. That's where I'm from.
Oh, very nice.
I have never ridden on the back of a horse.
Never.
Never. So
Never.
this is cool.
You have to do it.
I'm going to have to try it.
Yes, as a Texan.
Should make for some good content. Right? Well, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you. Our loop here, this camping loop, is called the Cedar Creek Camping Loop. Very well laid out campsites. People are starting to clear out this morning. It's Sunday morning, so we always leave on Mondays. It's a very small camping loop that we're on. It's very small. But again, the sites are very well laid out. We are now entering the Bent Tree Camping Loop, and there's a sign that says, "Rake manure into piles by gate." And if you're wondering why, well, check out the pens here for horses. This is a popular spot for individuals that have horses that they want to bring out and take on the equestrian trails here. Birch Creek across the lake also has equestrian sites. But yeah, this is also a very, very nice camping loop. You don't have to have a horse to stay in these campsites either. We have Cooper. And one of these pins here, that ain't gonna hold him down. Yes, this is the Bent Tree Camping Loop. I'm a little red in the face. When we went out to do that geocaching thing yesterday, I didn't wear a hat. So that's on me. Call me Lobster Boy. Nails Creek unit does not have anywhere near the number of campsites that Birch Creek has. We have more equestrian camping here close to the headquarters. This is more of a group setting here. It doesn't look like they have hookups. Water only, looks like. I've never met a horse that needed 20, 30, 50 amp hookups or sewer. But you know, of course, a horse is a horse. Of course. Right next to our camping loop here, we do have the Rocky Point area where a lot of people go to swim and to fish. Mrs. Switchback and I went out there on Friday. We can actually see this section from our campsite. Another picnic area here, Rocky Point. But yeah, this is a beautiful lake, even more so when it is at full capacity. And that, in a nutshell, is Nails Creek Unit of Lake Somerville State Park. That's about it. Unless you take into consideration the very, very extensive trail system. You've just seen pretty much the entire park. And we do have a dump station here located between the Cedar Creek and Bent Tree camping areas for your added convenience and for some of you, pleasure. We got one portal here. We have a couple of dumpsters across the road there. And if it is dark outside when you decide to dump everything, there's a convenient light here as well. So you can just see it all. And of course, caution, do not drink this lovely dump station water. Damn, I guess we're just gonna have to pack up and go home now. So we're heading into Somerville, and I took the back way that kind of cut the drive in half. Of course, it looks like we're on a dirt road, and I don't know where it's going to end. Maybe just up ahead. But hey, Texas, baby. Google Maps, man. Just wouldn't be spring here without the bluebonnets. Cooper's already got a state park and a little town named after him way up in North Texas. Look it up. But me, this is what I got right here in Somerville. Yep, it was bound to happen. Right here in Somerville, Texas. Just for the record, Switchback Road is the bumpiest son of a I've ever been on. I like these little small towns. I like to check out the local eateries in these small towns. We're in Somerville, Texas right now. We haven't been here in a while. And just on a whim, we decided to come out here because I found out that they named a street after me, so I thought I would pay homage. But yeah, we're gonna go to Mama's Kitchen, home style cooking. Sounds like our kind of place. And of course, to go with my salad, we have a delightful Frito pie. Looks like heaven in a bowl. All right, Mama's Kitchen, home style cooking. Now we've been to quite a few of these places in small town Texas. This is one of the good ones. This is one of the best ones we've been to. I had salad, chicken fried steak, the small one. The small one was not small.
It was almost the size of your plate.
Yes, then that was the small one. I guess the large one is probably the size of a Frisbee or something. Mrs. Switchback had grilled chicken strips, which were perfectly seasoned.
Delicious. A baked potato with
Baked
everything.
potato. I had, of course, a Frito pie because I just have this thing about Frito pies. And I had a cup of coffee. She had a tea.
I had tea, and yeah.
This was a bill that was under $35, and the food was fantastic. So we are very happy. We will stop and eat here whenever we are in the Somerville area. Mama's Kitchen, home style cooking. Check it out. Now, having said all this about Mama's Kitchen, excellent as it was, you knew this was coming. Our original intention was to come into Somerville, gas up, maybe grab a dessert for later, and we ended up eating at Mama's Kitchen.
Mama's Kitchen.
And, you know, we had to come to Dairy Queen. So where we're at now, it's just kicking back. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Because we're good at it. Okay, it's time for me to hit the trail. I've been meaning to do this, but I'm going to get on this bike and I'm going to haul out. I'm gonna call Mrs. Switchback and I'm gonna check up on her.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
I was calling to see how you were doing.
I'm doing well.
Are you napping?
I was,
So I'm over here at the edge of the park
right?
and I was wondering if you'd like to walk over here and join me.
No. I wouldn't.
Would you like me to bring you back anything? A flower? That was a very pleasant bike ride. Trails are a little rocky in certain parts. And I gotta kind of get used to riding on sand, which threw me off a little bit, but I didn't fall. Sorry. That would have made for some funny content, I suppose. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you are looking to get an e-bike for exercise, don't. This thing does everything. I pedal a little bit. It's actually a pedal assist motor. And then I throttle it once in a while. And that's it. That's it. I certainly am not feeling at all worked out. The family fishing pond over here is fed from one of the small creeks that runs back through here. And with the drought, that really hasn't been happening. So what we are left with is essentially what appears to be a chocolate milk pond. Or maybe you could just call it a latte. Well, it's our last night here. We've just been hanging around the campsite, just doing a little bit of nothing. That bike ride I took earlier was fantastic. It was nice to see Todd Saw and Sock Monkey yesterday. That was kind of fun. We had a good time. 2 years ago is when we took our first state park trip. Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
To Lake Corpus Christi State Park. And gosh, 20 trips later, and here we are. The first time we took out our trailer, Janie Marie, just to kind of break it in, what do you call it, a shakedown trip. We went to a KOA in San Antonio where we live. They had a pizza parlor. They had movie night.
They had ice cream social.
They had an ice cream social.
Movie night.
Yes.
Bingo.
Yeah, all this great
fun.
stuff. And I did let her know that it's not like that at state parks. They don't have ice cream socials and pizza parlors. She was in for a rude awakening when we went to Lake Corpus Christi for the first time. They hadn't renovated the bathhouse yet, so the shower had a pipe. No shower head, it was just a pipe sticking out of the wall.
It was awful.
So yeah, that was her first.
Oh, and then the bug hit me in my ear.
Yes, and a bug hit her in her ear.
It
So yeah.
flew.
I was starting to think I made a huge mistake, but here we are. Here we are. So I'll do a video about that. I will talk about it just a little bit and kind of bring y'all into that world of ours. So yes, the June bugs out here are pretty relentless. They are about the size of a sparrow, and they give off a noise not unlike that of a helicopter. So Mrs. Switchback is sitting comfortably over there by the picnic table. They don't bother me much, but if one lands on Mrs. Switchback, clear a path. If one happens to get in the trailer and Cooper goes after it, it won't be long before we need to buy a new trailer after he's done. Okay, we are heading back home from Lake Somerville State Park, Nails Creek Unit. this is a good, nice, relaxing little park. I prefer Birch Creek only because there seems to be a little bit more to do there. I could be wrong, but the lake levels were very low for the reasons I told y'all earlier. And I think that kind of put a hamper on some things. But overall, the park itself, the campsites were really nice. I loved the campsites. They had so many good campsites. It almost reminded me of Brazos Bend, where every campsite was a good one. But that'll do it. Our next trip is not going to be until the end of April. We're going to be heading over to Austin, Texas, to McKinney Falls State Park, which is actually in the city limits of Austin. So that's fun. We're going to be looking forward to that one. We're also, while we're there, we're going to go check out Leroy and Lewis Barbecue, which is the #2 in the state. If you like my videos, go ahead and hit that little like button. If you want to be notified when my videos post, hit that little notification bell. I appreciate each and every single one of you that watch my channel, that watch my videos. We can't thank you enough. From the bottom of our hearts, it means a lot that you take the time to watch my long videos. Much appreciated. Thank you. But that will do it for now, like I said. So, McKinney Falls, here we come at the end of April. Until then, Switchback Texan is out.